Welcome to my expat stories. This one's different. Brad here, 38, construction project manager out of Denver. I'd never been to South America before this. Hell, I'd barely left Colorado except for work trips to Texas and Arizona. My ex-wife and I split 2 years before I met Daniela. She didn't want kids. I did. That's what ended it. 10 years together and we couldn't get past that one thing. I came to Bogotá for work. 3-month contract overseeing a hotel renovation project. Company housing. Figured it'd be an adventure. Met Daniela 6 weeks in. Changed everything. Let me tell you how it happened. The project site was in Zona Rosa, upscale area. Lots of restaurants and bars. I'd grab lunch at this place near the site. Crepes and waffles. Sounds touristy, but the food was decent and they had Wi-Fi. She worked there. Waitress. Maybe 27. Long dark hair. Always smiling. Her English was pretty good. First few times I came in, she just took my order. Professional. Friendly. Third week she started asking questions. You're American? Yeah, Denver. What brings you to Bogotá? Work, construction project down the street. How long are you here? 3 months total. 2 more to go. She brought me my coffee. Lingered a bit. If you need recommendations, places to go, things to see, I grew up here. I know the real Bogotá. I'd appreciate that. She wrote her number on my receipt. Just like that. I texted her that night. She responded right away. We met for coffee 2 days later. Her day off. She showed up in jeans and a sweater. Bogotá's cold. Sits at 8,000 feet. I wasn't prepared for that. We walked around La Candelaria. Old town. Colonial buildings. Street art everywhere. She knew every corner. Every story. This is where I want to raise my kids someday, she said. In a city with history, with culture. That line stuck with me. Kids. She wanted kids. We got dinner that night, then the next night. By the end of the week, we were seeing each other every day. She lived with her mum, small apartment in Chapinero. She was saving money. Wanted her own place eventually. Wanted to go back to school. Study nursing. But it's expensive. And my mum needs help with rent. So I work. She wasn't asking for anything. Just telling me her life. I liked that about her. She had plans, had goals, wasn't just coasting. Month 2, things got serious. We were spending every night together, either at my company apartment or just walking around the city. She introduced me to her mum. Sweet woman. Didn't speak English, but she hugged me like I was already family. Made me bandeja paisa. We sat in their tiny living room watching Colombian soap operas I couldn't understand. Daniela translated the important parts, laughed at my confusion. My mum likes you, she said later. She says you have kind eyes. I fell hard. Not gonna lie. She made me feel like I mattered, like I wasn't just some gringo passing through. We talked about the future. What happens when my contract ends? Maybe I come back, I said. Or maybe you come to Denver. I'd like that. Meeting your family, seeing snow. She'd never seen snow. That killed me. I wanted to show her everything. Month 3, my last month in Bogotá, she told me she was late. We were having breakfast at my apartment. Saturday morning. She'd been quiet all week. Late for what? My period, I'm late. I just stared at her. How late? 2 weeks. My heart stopped. Then started racing. Have you taken a test? Not yet, I'm scared. We should get one. Today. We walked to a pharmacy, bought 3 different tests, went back to my apartment. She took them in the bathroom. I waited outside. Longest 5 minutes of my life. She opened the door. Tears in her eyes, holding all 3 tests. Positive. All of them. I didn't know what to feel. Scared. Excited, confused. All of it at once. Are you okay? She asked. Are you? I don't know. This wasn't the plan. But I don't know. Maybe it's meant to be. I pulled her close. Held her. We'll figure it out. Together. That night we talked for hours. About what this meant. About logistics, about everything. I can extend my contract, I said. Stay here longer. Or you come back with me. We'll make it work. I need to see a doctor first, make sure everything's okay. Of course, we'll go to the best doctor. Private clinic. Whatever you need. Private clinics are expensive here. I don't care, this is important. She found a clinic in Zona Rosa. We went the following Tuesday. Clean. Modern. Everyone spoke English. The doctor did an exam, confirmed the pregnancy. About 5 weeks along. Everything looks normal, she said, but we should do an ultrasound in a few weeks. Make sure development is on track. Daniela squeezed my hand the whole time. The visit cost $400. I paid cash. Insurance wouldn't cover it. International policy didn't include dependents. Didn't matter, this was my kid. Our kid. Walking out of the clinic, Daniela stopped on the sidewalk. I'm scared, Brad. Me too. But we're doing this together. What if something goes wrong? Nothing's going to go wrong. We'll take care of you, take care of the baby. She cried. Happy tears this time. That was week 1. Week 2, she started having pain. Lower abdomen. Not severe, but constant. Is that normal? I asked. I don't know. I've never been pregnant before. We called the clinic. They said it could be normal. Implantation pain. But if it got worse, come in. It got worse. Week 3, we went back to the clinic. Emergency visit. Another exam, another ultrasound. Doctor said everything looked fine, but she wanted to monitor it. Prescribed medication, anti-inflammatory, something to help with the pain. Another $600. Week 4, Daniela couldn't work. The pain was too much. She was on bed rest. Her mum called me, in broken English. Daniela very sick, need help. I went to their apartment. Daniela was in bed, pale, exhausted. The medication isn't working, she said. I need to go back to the clinic. We went that afternoon. The doctor did blood work, said her hormone levels were off. Not dangerously low, but not ideal. We need to monitor this closely. I'm recommending you come in twice a week. We need to make sure the pregnancy is progressing. Twice a week, at $600 a visit, $1,200 a week, $4,800 a month, whatever it takes. My company contract was ending. I extended it another month. Told them I had personal reasons for staying. They agreed. Same pay, same apartment. I couldn't leave. Not now. Not with Daniela pregnant and having complications. Week 5, her mum got sick. Diabetes, needed medication she couldn't afford. It's 400,000 pesos a month, Daniela said. That's about $100. I'll cover it. Brad, no, you're already paying for my clinic visits. It's fine, your mum needs it. That's our baby's grandmother. Week 6, the clinic bills were piling up. We'd been in 4 times that week. Each visit, $600. Sometimes more if they did extra tests. I'd spent about $8,000 so far. Between clinic visits, medication, and helping with her mum's rent, and medicine. My savings were taking a hit, but this was worth it. This was my future. Week 7, Daniela said we needed to talk. We were at my apartment. She'd been staying there most nights. Too hard to climb stairs at her mum's place. The doctor wants to do a special procedure. She's worried about the hormone levels. Says it might help stabilise things. What kind of procedure? I don't know the English word, but it's expensive. I did the math. $5,000. When? Next week. Okay, we'll do it. She cried. Thanked me, said she didn't deserve me. I told her she deserved everything. That was the first time I wondered if something was off. Not because of the money, but because of how she said it. Like she'd rehearsed the line. The procedure happened on a Thursday. Daniela said I couldn't come. Hospital policy. Only the patient allowed in the surgical area. I'll wait in the lobby, I said. It could take hours. You should work. I'll text you when it's done. I didn't want to leave her, but she insisted. I went to the job site, couldn't focus, kept checking my phone. 4 hours later, she texted, It's done. I'm okay, resting now. Can I come see you? Tomorrow. I'm too tired tonight. The anesthesia. Made sense. I'd had surgery before. You don't feel like seeing people after. I picked her up the next morning. She looked exhausted, moved slowly. How do you feel? Sore, but the doctor said it went well. The baby should be fine now. Should be. Not is. Should be. I helped her to the car, drove her back to my apartment. She slept most of the day. That procedure cost $5,000. Paid it at the clinic counter. They didn't take cards. Cash only. Had to go to 3 different ATMs to pull that much. Week 8, she went back for a follow-up. Said the doctor wanted another ultrasound. Make sure the procedure worked. Can I come this time? You'd be bored, it's just routine. I want to see the ultrasound, see the baby. She hesitated. Okay, but you have to wait outside during the exam. They're strict about that. We went together. I sat in the waiting room for an hour. She came out holding a printout. Look, ultrasound photo, grainy black and white image. A blob. Could have been anything. That's our baby, she said. I stared at it. Tried to see a person. Couldn't really, but I wanted to. Can I keep this? Of course. I put it in my wallet, right behind my driver's license. That visit was another $600. Week 9, her mum had another emergency. Fell, broke her wrist, needed x-rays and a cast. The public hospital wait is 8 hours. She's in pain. Can we take her to a private clinic? We did. Another $800. Week 10, Daniela said she needed to buy maternity clothes. Her regular clothes didn't fit anymore. We went shopping in Zona Rosa. She picked out 4 outfits. Just comfortable stuff. $300. She also wanted to start looking at baby things. Strollers, cribs. Get an idea of what we'd need. We spent an afternoon at a baby store. She took photos of everything. Made notes. I know we can't buy this stuff yet, but I want to be ready. We can buy some of it now, start putting things together. Really? Why not? Baby's coming in 6 months. We should be prepared. We bought a crib, a changing table, some clothes, little onesies with animals on them. I watched her hold up each tiny outfit, smiling, imagining. Made me feel like the luckiest guy alive. That shopping trip was $1,500. Week 11 she had pain again. Worse this time. Called me at work, crying. Something's wrong, I can feel it. I left the job site, picked her up, drove straight to the clinic. They did another exam, another ultrasound. This time the doctor looked concerned. Her hormone levels dropped again. We need to admit her, keep her overnight for observation. Is the baby okay? We're monitoring, that's all I can say right now. Overnight stay, private room, monitoring equipment, IV fluids, $2,200. I stayed with her, slept in a chair next to her bed. Hospital staff didn't say anything. The next morning the doctor came in. Everything's stabilised, you can go home, but complete bed rest for 2 weeks. No work, no stress. Daniela squeezed my hand. I'll take care of her, I said. She moved into my apartment full-time after that. Couldn't stay at her mum's place. Too many stairs, too much activity. I covered her rent at her mum's place. $800 a month. Didn't want her mum to struggle. Week 12, my company contract ended. I couldn't extend again. They needed me back in Denver. What do we do? Daniela asked. You come with me, we'll figure out the visa stuff. Get you set up in Denver, have the baby there. I can't fly, not with the complications. The doctor said no air travel until after the baby comes. So I stay here, find work. We make it work. Brad, you can't just quit your job. I'll find something. There's construction work everywhere. But there wasn't. Not for an American without the right permits. Not that paid anything close to what I made back home. I told my company I needed personal leave. They said they couldn't hold my position. I quit. Daniela cried when I told her. You can't do this for me. I'm doing it for us. For our family. I had about $30,000 left in savings. Between the medical bills and living expenses in Bogotá, I'd burned through 20 already. Week 13, Daniela woke me up at 3 a.m. Brad, something's wrong. She was bleeding. Not a lot, but enough. We went to the clinic. Emergency visit. Middle of the night. The doctor examined her. Did another ultrasound. I waited outside. 30 minutes. Felt like days. The doctor came out. I'm sorry. There's no heartbeat. I didn't understand at first. What? The baby, there's no heartbeat. She's having a miscarriage. Everything stopped. The hallway, the lights, the sound. Are you sure? I'm sorry. These things happen, especially with high-risk pregnancies. High risk. Nobody had said high risk before. Can you? Is there anything? We need to do a procedure, remove the tissue. Otherwise there's risk of infection. Remove the tissue. That's what she called my kid. Tissue. I signed papers. Don't remember what they said, just signed. They took Daniela into surgery. I sat in the waiting room, alone. 4 a.m. The clinic was empty, just me and the receptionist behind the glass. I called my brother, back in Denver. Told him what happened. I'm sorry, man, that's rough. I don't know what to do. Come home, there's nothing you can do there. But I couldn't leave Daniela. Not after this. The surgery took 2 hours. She came out pale, quiet, wouldn't look at me. I'm sorry, she said, it's not your fault. I lost our baby. It wasn't your fault. But she wouldn't stop apologising. That emergency visit and procedure cost $4,000. We went back to my apartment. She slept for 16 hours straight. I sat on the couch, staring at the ultrasound photo. The one in my wallet. Wondered if it was ever real. Week 14, she wasn't getting better. Physically, she was fine. But mentally, she was gone. Stopped eating, stopped talking. Just lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Maybe you should see someone, I said. A therapist. Someone to talk to. I don't need a therapist. I need my baby back. Her mum came over. They talked in Spanish. I caught some of it. Her mum was worried. She needs medication, her mum said in broken English. For the sadness. Depression. She was depressed. I got her back to the clinic. They prescribed antidepressants, said it was normal after a miscarriage. Another $600 for the visit. Another $200 for the medication. Week 15, she said she needed to go back to work. Couldn't just sit in the apartment. But she was too weak. The miscarriage had taken everything out of her. I'll cover your expenses. You don't need to rush back. I can't keep taking your money. It's not taking. We're together. That's what you do. I covered her expenses for another month. Rent at her mum's place. Her phone bill. Food. Medicine. Another $2,000. Week 16, she started feeling better. Talking more. Eating. I think I'm ready to go back to work. Take your time. No, I need to. I need to feel normal again. She went back to crepes and waffles. Same place we met. Back to serving tables. I'd stopped by once to see her. She was different. Quieter. The smile was gone. Week 17, she told me she needed space. We were at my apartment. She'd been staying less and less. Space from what? From this, from us. From everything that reminds me of what we lost. We can work through this together. I need to work through it alone. She left that night, took her stuff. Hugged me at the door. Thank you for everything, Brad. You're a good man. Good man. Past tense. She stopped answering my texts 3 days later. Calls went to voicemail. I went to crepes and waffles. They said she quit. No notice. Just didn't show up. Went to her mum's apartment. Different family answered. Said they'd been living there for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. While Daniela was supposedly still paying rent there. I called the clinic. Asked to speak to her doctor. I'm sorry, sir. We can't discuss patient information. I'm the father. I paid for everything. I just need to confirm she was a patient. I can't confirm or deny anyone's patient status. I went there in person. Showed them receipts. Showed them my bank statements. The receptionist looked uncomfortable. Sir, I really can't help you. Was she ever pregnant? Just tell me that. Was any of this real? She wouldn't answer. Called security. Asked me to leave. I stood outside the clinic for an hour, trying to understand. $32,000, that's what I'd spent. Medical bills, rent, food, medicine, baby furniture, all of it, for a pregnancy that might never have existed. I went back to my apartment, pulled out the ultrasound photo, stared at it for a long time. That grainy blob, the one I'd carried in my wallet for 2 months. Took a photo of it with my phone, uploaded it to Google reverse image search. Results came back immediately. Stock ultrasound photo. Sold on medical supply websites. Used for training. For demonstrations. $5 on Amazon. I sat there, phone in my hand, looking at the same image on a dozen different websites. Not our baby, just a photo, a prop. I called my brother again. I need you to listen to something. I told him everything. The pregnancy, the complications, the money, the miscarriage, the disappearance. He was quiet for a long time. You think she was never pregnant? I don't know. Maybe she was at the start. Maybe the tests were real. But everything after, the clinic visits, the procedures, I don't think any of it was real. Did you ever see a doctor? Like talk to one directly? I thought about it. No, she always went in alone. Said hospital policy. Brad, that's not normal. Partners go to appointments. They're in the room for ultrasounds. I know that now. You need to report this. Go to the police. I did. The next day, the Policia station in Chapinero explained everything. Showed them bank statements, receipts, text messages. The officer took notes. Didn't seem surprised. This happens, he said in English. Fake pregnancy scams. Usually they target foreign men. Emotional manipulation. Very effective. Can you find her? Do you have her real name? Daniela, that's all I know. She worked at Crepes and Waffles in Zona Rosa. Daniela is very common, like Jennifer in America. Without a last name, ID number or address. We can't do much. What about the clinic? They have records. Medical privacy laws, they won't share patient information, even with police, unless we have a warrant. And for that, we need evidence of a crime. I have evidence, $32,000 worth. You gave her money willingly for medical expenses. That's not illegal. She didn't force you. She lied the pregnancy was fake. Can you prove that? Did a doctor tell you it was fake? I couldn't. The clinic wouldn't talk to me. I'm sorry, the officer said. Without more information, there's nothing we can do. I'll file the report, but don't expect results. I left with a piece of paper, a case number, worth nothing. I started searching online, expat forums, Facebook groups, Reddit threads about Colombia scams. Found stories, guys who met Colombian women, fell in love. Then got hit with pregnancy news, followed by complications, medical bills, emergencies. Then either a miscarriage or the woman disappears. One guy in Medellin lost $40,000, never saw an ultrasound. Just believed her. Another in Cali, $25,000. She showed him ultrasounds. All fake. Stock photos, one in Cartagena. She was actually pregnant, but not with his kid. Used him to pay for another man's baby expenses. Disappeared after the birth. The pattern was always the same. Meet a woman, fall fast, pregnancy, complications, money, disappearance. I wasn't special. I was just another Mark. I went back to Crepes and Waffles one more time. Asked to speak to the manager. Young guy, maybe 30. Looked annoyed I was bothering him. I'm trying to find a woman who used to work here. Daniela. We have 3 Danielas who've worked here in the last year. He pulled up records on his computer. Describe her. I did. Height, hair, age, everything I could remember. Okay, I think I know who you mean. She worked here for about 2 months. Quit in November. No notice. November. That was before I even met her. Wait, she told me she worked here. I came in and she served me. January through March. He checked his records again. She didn't work those months. She quit in November. But I saw her here multiple times. She wore the uniform. He shrugged. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she just hung out here. We're busy. Nobody would notice someone in a uniform who wasn't actually working. She'd staged it. The whole thing. Made me think she worked there. So when we met, it seemed organic. Seemed real. Do you have her information? Address? Phone number? We keep records for 1 year, but I can't give out personal information. Please. She scammed me, took $32,000. He looked at me. Something in my face made him reconsider. Give me a second. He pulled up the file, wrote something on a piece of paper, slid it across the counter. I didn't give you this. Address in Soacha. Phone number I already had. I went to the address that afternoon. Soacha is south of Bogotá. Rough area. Buses packed. Streets crowded. The address was an apartment complex, 5 stories. Concrete. Laundry hanging from every balcony. I found the unit, knocked. A woman answered. Not Daniela. Older. Maybe 50. I'm looking for Daniela. Which Daniela? Your daughter lives here. She looked confused. My daughter lives in Medellin with her husband. Has for 3 years. Are you sure? Am I sure where my daughter lives? Yes. I showed her a photo on my phone. One of the selfies Daniela and I took. The woman squinted. That's not my daughter. But this is her address from her work records. People use fake addresses all the time. For jobs, for loans. If you're trying to find someone and all you have is this address, she lied to you. She closed the door. I stood in the hallway, staring at the address on the piece of paper. Everything was fake. The job. Address. Probably the name. The mum I met. Probably an actress or a friend. Someone playing a role. The apartment in Chapinero. Never hers. Maybe another Airbnb, borrowed for a few hours. The clinic? Either in on it or just didn't care. Cash business. Take the money. Don't ask questions. Every single piece of the story was constructed. Every detail designed to make me believe. And I did. I believed all of it. I flew back to Denver 3 weeks later. Broke. No job. No savings. No nothing. Had to borrow money from my brother for the plane ticket. Moved in with him while I looked for work. Took 2 months to find something. Entry level. Half the pay I was making before. Took me 18 months to recover financially. Had to sell my truck. Sell tools. Anything worth money. The credit card debt from the clinic visits took years. But the financial recovery wasn't the hard part. The hard part was accepting I'd grieved a child that never existed. I cried when she told me about the miscarriage. Actually cried. Felt like I'd lost something real. And maybe I did. Not a baby, but the idea of one. The hope of being a father. The future I'd imagined. That's what these scams do. They don't just take your money, they take your hope, your trust, your ability to believe people are good. I don't date anymore. Can't. Every woman I meet, I wonder what she wants, what the angle is. My brother says I need therapy. He's probably right, but therapy costs money, and I'm still paying off what Daniela cost me. I looked her up online sometimes. Facebook, Instagram, dating apps. Nothing. She's a ghost. Probably using a different name now. Different story. Working on some other guy in some other city, telling him she's pregnant, showing him a $5 ultrasound photo, watching him fall apart trying to be the hero. That's what I was trying to be. The hero. The guy who steps up, takes care of his woman, provides for his kid. Turns out I was just the mark. The lonely divorced guy who wanted a family so bad he'd believe anything. $32,000. That's what hope cost me. If you meet someone in Colombia who seems perfect, who talks about wanting kids, who gets pregnant fast, who has complications that require constant, expensive medical care, stop, think, ask questions, ask to speak to the doctor directly, be in the room for appointments, verify everything. Because if you don't, you'll end up like me, broke, alone, grieving something that was never real. Don't be the hero. Be smart. That's my story. Hope it helps someone avoid the same mistake. Cheers, Brad, for the courage to share this. This is my expat stories. Catch you in the next one.